We spoke with the Chamber President, Tom Donohue, and of course, he is one of the most powerful people here in Washington when it comes to business lobbying, running the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is actually looking up when it comes to the economy, specifically saying that the GDP for this year, will be 3.2%. That's rosier than a lot of Wall Street economists. As for the relationship with the Obama administration, well, he still sees some room for improvement there.
Our relationship with the White House is, on a personal basis, has always been fine. We've had differences on some issues. A lot of issues we've helped them on in a vigorous way, and other issues we disagreed on, and it made great opportunity for the press. But our issue now is, what do we do together to create jobs in America as the economy gets better? We're looking forward to the President's visit on February the 7th. We're working with them on the questions of supporting and doubling of exports. We're going to work with them, I hope, in expanding our investment and the private investment in infrastructure. We need to work together to reduce in a significant way some of the strangling regulation that is keeping people from forming jobs. And we're going to have a lot of debate with them, but we've got to start drilling a lot of oil in this country, or we're going to see us be closer to $5 than $3 a gallon, and we can really help ourselves if we do it.
Let me ask you about another topic you didn't mention there, and that is tax reform. There's been a big talk about perhaps a deal between the business community and this White House on corporate tax reform. Do you expect when the President comes here February 7th, or even before then, the State of the Union, he'll have a concrete proposal for you all to consider, you all to support?
Well, remember, presidents and business community propose and the Congress disposes. And the most complicated issue we deal with is taxes. But I do believe there's a recognition that now that Japan has changed their tax rule, we are the highest tax corporate entities in the world. And we have got to be competitive. If we want to be competitive, we're going to have to change that. I look forward to working with the administration and the Congress to see what we can do to balance this out.
You know what's going on in this town. Do you think a proposal's coming?
I don't think anybody has a real proposal yet. I think people understand the 4 or 5 things that they've got to try and deal with. But I don't think there's somebody going to put a cold proposal on, and I'm sure not going out and negotiate with myself. I'm going to wait and see what the members of the Congress think about. And by the way, we have a lot of new people here in Washington that that haven't done this before. I think it's going to be a crazy debate. I'm looking forward to it because we have to do it.
Bill Daley, the addition of Bill Daley to this White House, you all have been supportive of that move. What will that bring to this White House? What sort of business perspective will that bring?
Well, he's a pro. You know, he's got a long experience. He worked in the Clinton White House. He ran the Gore campaign. He's been president of a major telecommunications company. He's a vice chairman of maybe the best bank in America, according to a lot of the pundits. He's on boards of significant companies. He's done all kinds of important stuff, and he's one tough guy and a very good manager. I think exactly what the country needs right now.
So you get a effort by this president perhaps to reach out to the business community with that selection. At the same time, you all are still talking about the regulatory tsunami confronting the business community right now.
It's also confronting the White House.
Well, let me ask you about that, because there's some out there suggesting the best way to fight it would be for Congress to defund some of these regulatory agencies. Are you all going to actively support Republicans in the House defunding some of these agencies?
I think there are 2 things that we need to do. We need to have a look at how the Congress could have the last say on really big regulations, 100 million and over. And instead of letting unelected bureaucrats that nobody has any control over make these huge decisions. I mean, up or down vote. And I think there ought to be a look at what is the level of detail and that has to be provided by the regulatory agencies if they're sued or challenged in court on these issues. I think it's a rational thing to do. Nobody in the Constitution ever envisioned this huge form of government. And I think it's time to take a careful look at, is there a way to get some control over it?